right, we are back at this, and sorry we're having some technical issues. It seems to be in an afternoon during coronavirus. So hey, all right, Ashton's back, Pinkov is back. Bill, if you want to hit join, then we'll be good to go. Can you say, Ashton, you still can't hear me right now?
There I am. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah. So where were we? We were bartending in Atlanta. Yeah, and then in February of '96, I came to Empire, and that was that. But yeah, bartending was great. The whole restaurant business was great. From dishwasher on up, you really learn, behind the scenes, and then I think you have to do that to respect it and to know what people are going through, and to have a little empathy, not sympathy but empathy. And I loved it. I loved working in restaurants. It's always nice having all that cash too, and being able to go anywhere and bartend at that point. Times are a little different right now, and it really sucks. I feel for all the people in the hospitality, never mind restaurants, but hospitality, all hotels and country clubs everywhere. It's just real tough. But hang in there, guys. Hang in there.
No, that's patience is from a consumer point of view, that's what I preach, and also from just empathy, understanding, being there for others is just so important right now. Let's get to those 20 questions. So question number 2. What's one fact about wine that continually blows your mind? Like what's one of those things out there that you're like, man, every time I think about this, it's just amazing to me?
So, okay, I think it's from the beginning to the end, right? It's from putting that plant in the ground to enjoying that bottle at the table. And that's what just blows me away, especially if you're ever lucky enough to go to a vineyard and you see the vines, or if you see a winery and you see that stuff sitting there, especially in a sparkling wine winery where that stuff's just sitting there for 3 years, 4 years. And then when people complain about the price, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what went into this. And it is tough. If you've never seen it, of course you're going to argue about price. I mean, because you want things to be cheaper, but you understand why things cost money. And to see, and then take it even further, Eric, before it even goes in the ground, somebody's idea to buy that land and plant it and then grow it and wait 3 years and nurse that vine and then pull the vine and then make the wine and bottle the wine and ship it to us. We ship it to an account, and the account puts it on the shelf or pours it by the glass, and then that's when the people enjoy it. That's what blows my mind, the whole process.
Oh, no, I totally get that. I planted a vineyard at our office last May, so it's almost going on the year anniversary of the Empire Vineyard. And someone asked me if we had grapes yet. I'm like, no, it takes a while, this commitment to farming and the land and everything.
How about our friend Jason Lett when he each gave us a cutting? He came in one February morning in probably 2011 or 2012. Mine made it 1 year. It didn't make it past the second. How about you?
My Pinot Noir clipping from the Irie Vineyards lasted about 2.5, 3 years before it succumbed to black. At least that's what I'm going to call it. But we're planting muscadine at Empire. So native grape. Figure we'd go that way. All right. So, what was your first aha moment as you started to learn about wine?
Well, I think it's when I was so I worked in restaurants for those 16 years, right? I came to Empire as a retail wine rep. That was like whoa. You talk about so I understood restaurants. I understood what a dishwasher did, and had a lot of respect for people doing all that stuff from the ground up. Then you get thrown as a retail wine rep. Man, it's like being a private in the Army out there in the grocery stores and everything. And today, even more so during this pandemic, our guys who are calling on chain stores, God bless them. And everybody who's at a grocery store working. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
They're missionaries right now. I mean, they're out there doing for their brothers and sisters, providing for us. So big fan. But the big aha moment was after you work at someplace a year and you're in the wine business, everybody's like, oh, you're in the wine business. And you're like, yeah, I know this, I know that. And then you just get the smack in the face when somebody asks you a question, a very basic question, you have no idea, and you learn that you have no idea what you don't know, and the more you learn, and you're pretty much at the pinnacle of learning, and you have a steel trap for a mind and an incredible way to portray that to people. No, seriously. Look, you and I have said a lot of good things and a lot of bad things to one another over the years. You are amazing that way. We're like married at Empire.
Yeah, but, actually, in case you're curious, we do have an old married couple routine at Empire. I'm close to 20 years. Bill's been there for 24. We've had a lot of war stories together. So yeah, old married couple. So, mutual love and respect. I can't say that enough.
Yeah. So the aha moment is that the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know a friggin' thing, yeah. and that's the aha moment, kind of a smackdown, which is good, yeah. But I guess that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Sure, fair enough. So, what's your favorite food and wine pairing? You as the director of fine wine, what do you enjoy eating and drinking together?
So a couple things about me, which I think you'll agree. I'm a pretty simple guy, and I'm pretty old school. The hairstyle and the clothes definitely prove that. But food pairing, it's basic. The missus, she's a big red lover, and she's a red meat lover, and so that we do that once a week probably, and that's just great when you do have a juicy steak and a fatty steak, and just pair it with a nice, big, juicy, full-bodied red. I also like really light whites and light food. I like that because it all depends. If I'm going to hunker down for the night and don't mind being a snake on top of a rock digesting, bring me the steak and the red wine. If I'm in for a marathon, it's the middle of the day, give me some light nibbles and a zippy white,
Yeah, hey, no, I love it, man. Yeah. Just the idea of keeping it simple is... The idea of keeping it simple can be lost on people so quickly sometimes. Let's fit 45 ingredients on the plate and have this, and all I want is a piece of this and a drink of that. It's, yeah, I get it. What's, a little bit further then, what's your guiltiest food and wine pairing? What's something that you enjoy doing? For me, it's potato chips and champagne. And that's, it's one of my favorite pairings, but I know that if I have a bag of chips and I have enough champagne, I will eat every Lay's that has ever been made at that point.
Yeah. I think, so I'm a chocolate holic, so let's just go there. I'll do a champagne one too, for sure. But, chocolate and, that dark chocolate and Rosa Regali are just amazing. And Rosa Regali by itself, I just love it. And it's just sparkling Grechetto. It's just like the strawberries just in your mouth, and it's light, and it's everything. Your mouth's alive, and then it's just the acid. It's like a Zamboni going across your tongue, and it just cleans off. Yeah. Cleans off the whole first period of food, and you're ready for the second period. And so that's that. But also, man, champagne, totally. It's got to be champagne, but French fries, anything like that. Just they were fried chicken. The things like that with champagne, but champagne's got to be there. I wish I could drink champagne every day.
Yeah, same here. I had curbside French fries yesterday, and I thought to myself, I don't have enough fries to warrant opening a bottle of champagne because then I'm going to have to finish it. And too many things going on. I wasn't able to drink a bottle of champagne yesterday. I get it though. That's fantastic. So here's a question that I like to ask people in the industry: how many wines do you think you taste a year, Bill?
Well, there's 365 days. This year there's 366, so let's just start there. We have a trade show, right? And then fall, that's 365 that. We do our tastings internally. We probably do 20 to 40 at about 6 of those a year, right? Other trade shows, long nights here. Man, I think 1,000 is probably a good over under.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, what now?
How about you?
Oh, this is not my 20 questions today,
Bill. But you got to be so far north of that, no?
I spit a lot. I always tell people that I probably spit more wine in a week than they drink in a month.
You said taste. Yeah, you didn't say, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's I taste a lot of wine professionally, and it's always I've never really tried to figure out that amount because I've not been on 20 questions yet. Maybe I'll
Okay.
have to, but yeah,
Here's the
it's
thing, though.
spitting is key.
I do taste some more than the others.
Yeah, yeah. Some I don't spit. Some are pretty darn delicious. We've got
So,
Ashton here saying about 1,500 bottles
yeah.
a year. That's amazing.
All right,
I
man.
love it.
Good. God
Yeah,
bless.
it's a fun industry to be in.
Yeehaw.
All right. So, is there any wine that you used to kind of put on the back burner and think, "Oh, I don't drink that at all," and now you just seem to love it? Anything that originally turned you off and now it turns you on?
Well, no, I kind of like them all, but sake is. I'm still not. I gotta figure out. I got to figure out sake a little more because I'm not. I'm not a big fan of that. But I tell you one thing, Riesling is something that I've kind of always been. But everybody like you're a Riesling dude. I've grown. My appreciation has grown so much more. And when somebody like Nick Weiss comes to town and you get to taste wine, Riesling, from St. Urban's off. Um, you can see it, and it starts to click. But yeah, no, and the many different types, whether it's Australia or Germany or wherever, just great different
Yeah.
stuff.
I recall you and I had a dinner in Savannah about 12 years ago, and I think there were maybe 8 different Rieslings in front of each of us by the end of the night because I kind of had my way with the cellar. And you're like, okay, I'm on board. Okay, let's do this. So, yeah, always trying to get that battle going. Okay.
By the way, I finally had a great ride back from Savannah where my head wasn't hurting this year.
Yeah,
It only
I'm so
took
sorry
for
then.
15 years. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, those are very rare occasions sometimes, aren't they? Okay, so let's you've been doing this for a while at a very, very high level, and you've directed our company in a lot of great ways, and you've done some amazing things for the portfolio, and you have these brilliant relationships. What would you say, and I know you've got as many as anyone I've ever met, but what's one of the coolest things you've experienced so far in the wine industry?
Oh, sorry, a little wind. I think it is. I think it is the relationships as a macro answer. Meeting people, the first meeting, getting to know them, and having these people really become your friends. Who you stay in contact with many people too. But yeah, some of them are winemakers, owners, some great characters in it. Yeah, there's a lot of great people, and we're keeping in touch like during this pandemic, and it's great that people are just reaching out saying, not even talking about business, just how you doing, how's everything happening. So it's great. But if there is one moment that was super cool and I can't duplicate it now, it was playing cribbage with Peter Lehman on the River Murray on a houseboat, and I beat him. And then Margaret, his wife, says, "What happened?" He goes, "The Yank beat me." And she goes, "Let me take my turn at the Yank." I beat her too. Yeah.
Wow.
But Peter Lehman, amazing. Now nobody's ever going to remember Bill Pancava. Peter Lehman is a legend in the wine industry. You can talk to people from Barossa. He saved the valley back in the 1980s.
Totally
Amazing
did. Gambler's chance, yeah. A legend.
Amazing man, full of life, and just his people, his winemaker, Andrew Wiggins, for years said that we would walk across glass shards for Peter and Margaret. And I got to spend 4 days with him, and but playing him in cribbage was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty hip. I remember playing bocce with you and another Australian one time in Sonoma. That was a pretty fun night. But yeah, I was lucky enough to be at Lehman several years ago in the Barossa, and when you would talk to other producers and just the love they have for that man. So playing cribbage with him on a houseboat, yeah, that's a pretty far out experience.
I'll send you the picture after this. It's great.
I would love to see it. We'll put it on the Instagram page, Courtney. So, also, what are you drinking these days? What's like if you're gonna pour yourself a glass of something? Maybe don't talk about tonight's Zoom event, but what do you like sipping on right now?
I'm drinking lots right now. Like I said, the missus loves Big Red, so there's got to be a bottle of that open because I get chastised when it's something of the medium bodied California wines, Pinot Noirs and stuff. But champagne whenever I can. Obviously, if nobody's coming over anymore, so it's tough to pop that bottle of champagne like you mentioned earlier. You need a cohort. Zippy Whites. Gin and tonic. So definitely right now I got a bottle of Aviation Empress in there. But definitely Beefeater when I'm at restaurants. Beefeater and tonics. Yeah. Yeah.
Delicious.
Like I said,
Do
lots.
you have any wines on your bucket list? A wine you've read about, or a wine someone's told you about, and you've always thought, man, I just really want to see what it's all about.
Yeah. So I was born in '66, so I think I'd like to drink more 1966 wines. I have one bottle of Wars '66 left, so a Wars '66 left, and don't know when. I turned 54 this year. Don't know when we're going to pop that, but I talk with Ted Berquist a lot. We always threatened to have a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure since we're both babies of '66, and find the bottom of that bottle. So,
Well,
but that
we'll try to find some Bordeaux for you. That's a pretty good
there
year
you
for
go.
Bordeaux as well.
And some Barolo maybe, and Brunello. It was a pretty good year there too. But yeah, I haven't sunk my hands on any of those yet. So, any of the older ones too. 49. Talking to Louis Fabrice. 49. He talks about 49s. And but anything old that's just really cool that you open up and you get to think about, like, this is the year I was born, and then what has happened in my life. Well, a lot, and maybe not a lot, but this has been in there like a genie in the bottle since. What's going to happen when you open it? So I think that more than anything, my birth year.
Cool. So you're talking about gin and tonics. What would you say your favorite cocktail is?
Somebody's got a 66 there. Look at that. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ashton's got this Kafki 66. That's pretty yummy port. We have to ask you, man. Is that going to be is that Colheita, or is that actually vintage port? Because Kafki makes some Colheitas that are pretty rad. Well, we'll have to get him for Bill and Ted's Excellent Wine Adventure. Besides gin and tonics, is there any other cocktail you enjoy drinking?
So as a cocktail, I guess you still got to throw gin in it, and I think Negronis and margaritas are always, a little more warm weather. Today's a nice day for margarita, but Negroni. But I kind of stop at one and then move on to wine. Negronis are,
Sure. Yeah. It's all alcohol. It's that's why they're so delicious.
Now, if I'm honest, Eric, who the hell am I calling Steve? Eric, if I am out at a restaurant, you know what I start with, don't you?
Campari and soda. Keep your edge.
That is correct. Yes, Campari and soda.
Campari and soda. That's those are old internal Empire wine jokes. We can talk about those later. But hey, keep your edge. Have that Campari and soda. Everybody else gets lit, and then you can have a good meeting with other people. It's so yeah. Okay, so besides wine, and besides those gin and tonics, anything else that you drink?
I'm not really a bunch of spirits. Gin is gin, tequila. I'm not a big brown spirit guy, and then that sucks because we're a great brown spirit house. But yeah, it doesn't agree with me. Some might say it angers my blood. I don't think so.
I will say this: for all the times I've been drinking with you, and when we've had things that are outside of wine or gin, or if I force you to drink bourbon, you've always been happy. So I would never say that you're someone who, after a few drinks, crosses a line, which is there's a lot to be said for that. It's good stuff. Is there any wine region you've been wanting to visit that's on your I'd love to see what that place looks like bucket list?
Yeah, so seen a lot, not all, obviously. I went to Portugal. I spent a few days in Lisbon on a vacation and loved it. I think I'd like to go up there, and maybe late in the year, maybe right after harvest, and it's a little chilly, and have some port, or early in the winter, and do that and just see that valley. Have you been there?
I've not been to the Douro. No. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see that place.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. It's something different, right? One of the coolest places I have been able to go is Jerez, down in the south of Spain, to see and see sherry, and you're 10 miles away from Rock of Gibraltar, right? And that's just gorgeous. I like those it's amazing. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What's the so in your position, you end up at dinners and things. What's the weirdest food and wine pairing you've ever been served? Or something where they said, "Oh, you're going to love this." And you're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh my gosh, yeah. We had something. I can't say where, and can't say with what wine, but it was kind of spicy. And they gave me a big Syrah from California, and ooh man, it didn't work. So, but it's something that is kind of cool, which I never would have thought of. And I think, were in the sales meeting when this guy said this to us. But he said you got to try popcorn with white Chateauneuf.
Yeah.
And I did about 3 weeks ago, and damn, he was right.
Cool. So popcorn and white Chateauneuf de pop. So the pleasures of Grenache Blanc and friends. That's awesome, man. I love that.
Who
I
knows?
remember one time you and I were served cotton candy with an unoaked botrytis wine that had really just finished fermentation, and we all just there were a group of us going, "Come on!" And it ended up just being amazing. Like all the weight of the wine and just the fluffiness and lightness
Yeah.
of the cotton candy. That was a pretty interesting a thing.
We,
What's the one piece of wisdom you wish you knew before you started? Yeah, Target Popcorn, Lee. What's the one piece of wisdom you wish you had leading up to your working in this wine industry?
um, maybe to get into spirits instead. Nah, it's no. Because craft spirits are pretty much like fine wine these days. But um, my dad always said, do something you love, and so I think I've done that. When I was bartending, how I got into this job was that this guy, great customer of mine at the bar where you eat food, well, and get drinks. That's what a bar is, right? But it's a restaurant bar. He's one day he just said, "Bill, what the hell are you doing?" And I was like, I don't know, Ken. I'm bartending." He said, "Why are you bartending?" I was 30 years old now. And I said, "What should I be doing?" He said, "You should be selling something." I said, "What?" He said, "I don't know, Yetis, which they didn't have 24 years ago, or forks or alcohol." I was like, "Oh, ding, 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 alcohol." So, and that got me, and that's when I said, "Okay, let me get a job. Let me settle down. Let me do that." But Dad always said, do something you love. And I got into this industry because of that. And it's worked out just fine. Life's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we're going to go off the radar a little bit now, and just five random questions. I know things about Bill because we've known each other for so long. Bill in college was a DJ for a blues college radio program that he had. So, who is your favorite blues harmonica player?
Well, actually, it was here in Atlanta that it was a I guess I can call them out. They're a community radio station, right? WRFG 89.3 FM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Good Morning Blues on Monday mornings from 8 to 10. So, favorite harmonica player? God, man, I'll go with relationships again. Okay. It's all about relationships. Our business, there was some of the other questions you asked. I forget what they were. But relationships. I got to meet Junior Wells, back room at one, because I was a DJ. I got in, and then I'd have access to all the little clubs here in Atlanta. It wasn't too hard. I mean, it's not anybody who goes to the show can meet the bands in in a lot of the smaller clubs here. But I got to spend time with Junior Wells, and really sorry about that. I really enjoyed talking to him that night, and he's amazing. Spent a lot of time with Buddy Guy. Came up, did a lot of Chicago stuff. Junior Wells, but man, there's a ton. I like Lazy Lester, because Lazy Lester, he says that's his nickname, Lazy Lester. He says I ain't lazy. People call me lazy. I'm just tired. I like that.
That's a great way to make your nickname even better.
And Eric, there's my buddy Lem, who works at ESPN, and he was there with me that night here in Atlanta, and he met him too. He met Junior Wells that night. So anyway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your who's I mean, we try not to name names sometimes, but
I haven't done a good job.
What now?
I haven't done a good job at that today so far.
Yeah, we haven't done a very good job of that so far. But let's just go ahead and do it. Who's some of your favorite winemakers? Who are some of your favorite relationships? And if you, I mean, answer however you feel comfortable, but or maybe even favorite wine regions and people you think that are doing great jobs.
All right.
In areas.
Well, talking about relationships, I love when it goes from parent to child, right? And we see a lot of that over our 25 years in the business here. So it's got to start from David Lett, who was the first man to plant Pinot Noir in Oregon, first man to plant Pinot Gris in America, right? I believe that. And
I did some of the other like Dick Ponzi, Dick Erath had planted Pinot Noir a little bit earlier, but
okay.
yeah, David Lett was the first American to plant Pinot Gris in the U.S.
So going from David, who I did again, just like Peter Lehman, just incredible opportunity. I can't duplicate it, can't replicate it. Got to know David Lett. I'm not saying we hung out and drank beers, but I got to know him. We had a lot of good phone conversations, and I did meet him out in Oregon. But then when Jason took over, and to see what Jason has become, it's just really cool. And Jason's awesome. Jason Lett of Ivory Vineyards. Jason Haas. Okay. Jason Haas, just amazing to spend time and listen to Jason. Jason's the kind of guy who just throws you these softballs when he's talking about wine and really demystifies Chateauneuf de Pape. He's amazing. Oh my gosh, everybody. Rick Foreman, everybody in Napa Valley. That's where I have a lot of my better ones. Louis Fabrice Latour. Geez, that's.
I think I'm one of the few people allowed to make an impersonation of him in front of him. So,
yeah, and I have that picture. We'll post that one too. But also, and then the Marianis, and Christina Mariani take over, and what a great company Banfi is. I mean, I can go on, and geez, I mean, this would last a lot longer than we wanted to. So.
Sure. So we had technical difficulties, so we can go a little bit longer. What's your favorite book?
I don't like to read. I like people to send me, I'm not much of a reader. When I do read, it's biographies. I do like Tuesdays with Maury is kind of special to me. It's not an amazing, difficult read. It's no mystery. Maury dies. Okay, sorry. You've had 30 years to read the book. It's not really a spoiler at that point, but Tuesdays with Maury is just about life, and it's about relation. It's all about, like, we come back to relationships. It's all about relationships and how death does end a life, but it doesn't end a relationship. And anybody who's lost a parent or a loved one, I'm telling you, pick up Tuesdays with Maury. You'll finish it like that, and I gotta believe it'll strike a chord in you. Johnny Cash's autobiography. I love that because I read that and I can hear him talking as I read it. I mean, you and it's a very complex character, Johnny Cash.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Cash. I remember seeing footage of him after winning a Grammy for, I think, Folsom Prison, or Live from Folsom Prison, and he's backstage, and a young Phil Oakes walks up to him and says, "Hey, man, congratulations! I'd love to play a tape for you." And he leans over to the Columbia record press and says, "Sign this guy." And it's like, oh my gosh, like that's as Johnny Cash as it gets. Natalie, it's great to see you here. She's on this call. So we got two more questions. What's your favorite movie?
I mean, why do I keep calling you Steve? Eric, who is that? Who's just who is B Living? Who's
that's Ashton is joining in, and one of our customers here in the Atlanta area.
No, but he just wrote how his dad died, and he was just thinking of him. Dude, pick up Tuesdays with Maury. It's great. Another thing, just not to get too more, but before my dad died, we had a very good relationship, but we weren't calling each other every day, and maybe not even every week. He lives in Connecticut. But after he died, I think about him every day till this day, and that's what I'm telling you. Pick up Tuesdays with Maury, everybody. Go ahead.
All right, good call, man. Thanks. So, favorite movie?
Well, I told you I'm old school. I'll tell you a movie that I wish I'd never seen before, only so I can see it for the first time now, and that's Usual Suspects. Because what an aha, wow, just a surprise moment. And again, you've had 25 years to see that movie, so it's not really a spoiler. But great movie. But it's really tied, and I'm going to go back to relationships. Gosh, just relationships. It's a Wonderful Life, man. And I talked to my daughter about this about 6 months ago. I've been trying to get them to watch it for years. I love black and whites too, but It's a Wonderful Life. The message just that you matter. You matter. No matter who you are, you have no idea the lives you're touching, and generally in a positive way. And what would happen if you never existed? And it's really powerful, and it's something. I think it's a great message, and too many movies don't have great messages now, and there's a lot of CGI or whatever the hell they call it, and I get run out of my house here because I'm not the biggest Avengers fan. I like the Avengers just fine. Big Captain America fan. He's great. I love him, but that's they all love the Avengers in there. But yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. Casablanca's right there. Godfather 2. To go the other side of not really a positive message, but
yeah, that's a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah,
what about I figured Princess Bride had to be in there only because I've heard you quote the Princess Bride probably more than any other film.
Well, I love it, but once the Sicilian keels over and dies, I could get up and leave the room. I mean, I love it, but man, that's just the best. Up until then, and then after that, I could do something else at that point.
Yeah, no, I get it. I love how you point out with Usual Suspects, you can only see it once because then you're in on the secret.
God,
there was a book I came across in the 90s of movie reviews, and it talked about greatest movies of all time for certain moments in your life, and it said, the worst thing about Star Wars is you can only see it once the first time. And if you could go back and be able to see Star Wars A New Hope new every single time, it would be a lot easier. It would be a lot easier. And then, okay, so final question for the day. Courtney, sorry we're running long today. Hope that's okay. What's your favorite blues album?
I'm going to go live here. We already are live, but a band that really got me into the blues is called Roomful of Blues, and they're out of Providence, Rhode Island. And Roomful of Blues live at Heartbreak Hotel in Providence. I've seen them there probably 20 times back in, I'm talking mid 80s. That turned me on. When I saw them up on stage, it was 4 or 5 horns and guitar, drums, keys, everything. Just 9 people just blasting at you. Just amazing. I said, I like this stuff. And so I got deep into who are their influences, right? And so that Albert King live in San Francisco Wednesday night or Thursday night, either of the 2 albums, fantastic. You can't go wrong. Albert King, amazing. Muddy Waters live album at Newport, 1960, I believe. But yeah, that's that. And here locally, King Johnson, anything they ever put out. Now defunct band, the bass player moved to Illinois. They were a great band, hit all the blues clubs here in Atlanta. And now half of the Wood Brothers was in King Johnson. Oliver Wood, guitarist for the Blues Brothers. If you don't know if you don't know the Wood Brothers, check them out. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, you turned me on to the Wood Brothers years ago.
King Johnson, amazing. If you could find anything from them, now defunct band. Yeah. And T-Bone Walker, anything from T-Bone Walker. 1945, playing like it's 1995. Just amazing. Way ahead of his time.
Yeah. Well, Bill, thank you so much for this today. It's great to get you out of the office and into nature, it looks like. And so that
beautiful.
It looks great, man.
Yeah,
it looks great. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope that your family doesn't play too many Avengers films in the house this weekend. Hopefully you'll make it through. But, probably kids shouldn't be seeing Godfather 2 just yet. So
no, don't get me wrong. I like the Avengers. I just don't need to see it again and again and again.
All right, fair enough, brother. Okay. All right, Bill, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do for our company. Love you so much. And I'll see you next week in the building. And everybody, thank you for tuning in. And I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. And we'll catch you cats later on. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.